I played Bloodstained, Ritual of the Night, and all I got was this fancy new trim. Bloodstained is a Castlevania game, not literally, but it might as well be because people tend to bring it up in videos that are specifically about Castlevania. What the f? Koji Igarashi is the producer, or as he's affectionately known, Iga. He was basically the guy that oversaw the Castlevania series during its Metroidvania days, and because Castlevania went AWOL, he decided to kickstart a brand new franchise that would scratch the same itch. So here we are. There's a castle, a badass protagonist, and a smattering of demons. There are vampires too, but they're bookish and voiced by the guy that played Alucard in Symphony of the Night.
You're a vampire!
And what of it? Will you murder me for that alone? I've picked no quarrel with you.
The story is that Miriam, our hero, has woken up after 10 years to find that her best friend has turned evil and unleashed a horde of demons. Miriam is a shardbinder, which means she's super powerful, and we'll get to why that is in a bit. Bloodstained plays so much like the GBA and DS Castlevania entries, specifically the Sorrow duology, that it feels like a nice warm blanket for fans. That's me, I'm as snug as a bug in a rug. Like the games it rips off, the games it was inspired by, Bloodstained lets you explore a big interconnected map in and around a gothic castle. You can find new equipment and upgrades to health, magic and ammo, and there are even quests that reward you with items. In true Metroidvania fashion, you'll come up against dead ends and have to return later when you get new abilities. There are a bunch of weapon types, including guns, but I tend to prefer swords and greatswords. I wish I liked the whips more. They're so underused in video games, and here they're just a bit too clunky for my playstyle. The big hook for this game is shard binding. Every time you defeat an enemy, it has a chance to drop a crystal shard which Miriam absorbs. Each shard lets her use different attacks and buffs. There are so many that it caters to every possible playstyle. What it means is that the game is constantly changing. One moment you're having a water fight and the next you're disintegrating them with a void ray. My one complaint is that some abilities necessary for exploration are equipable shards that take up the same slots you use to attack enemies, so if you need to get through the narrow gaps after a fight, you'll have to go into the menu and switch your shards on the fly. There is a shortcut system where you can save loadouts, and that's cool, but surely they could have just made these abilities permanently correspond to certain button combos like others in the game. Bloodstained has a leveling system, which means Miriam gains experience for every enemy she defeats. Leveling up increases her stats, which means that if you're struggling on a boss, you can farm enemies to grow stronger. The bosses aren't massively difficult until you get to the end of the game, so don't worry about it too much, but just know that the option is there. The visual design is cool considering it has a lower budget than AAA games, and the music is fantastic, but the sound effects can seem a bit compressed sometimes, and there was one moment when a bit of dialogue played without any subtitles.
Yes, the church sent me. As you can see, I know a thing or two about expelling demons.
And I can't believe it hasn't been patched even after 1,000,000 updates. Do I like Bloodstained Ritual of the Night as much as Symphony of the Night? No. Does it have its own identity? But it's still a great game, especially in the absence of Castlevania, and if you're itching for a new Metroidvania to play, this is it. You did good, Iga. You did good.